Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Vitrix Honor Guard Scalpers to this impromptu episode of that 6++ show. If it's not really that, it's just a one-off show, but we need a name. I just came up with it. It's that. I am your boy Swissley, and I'm here to talk to you about the Dataslate. And I am lucky enough to be joined by three fantastic, knowledgeable, and beautiful people.
Aww.
We'll go to the man to my left at the moment, the one and only Jack Chapman. Jack Chapman, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. I was very lucky enough today to be in a quiet section of work. So I got to spend all day looking at the data slate, which took me about 30 seconds for my factions. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has its benefits to doing that. I am now sat here painting scions. Hopefully enough to get a list done for the weekend, and yeah, have a good time.
Hey Jack, where were you at the weekend?
Well, I'm doing the Outriders GT in Milton Keynes. Or not GT, RTT in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, very cool. And when's the list deadline for that event?
It's Friday, which means the data slate is in.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. And if someone wanted to get tickets, who might they contact or where might they go?
Well, you can find it on BCP under the Outriders RTT, or they can get in contact with you. Yes, you.
Yeah, a little plug. We currently have 15 players. We can fit 32. It'd be nice to have more. It's a growing venue, so yeah, it'd be lovely to have you. So great. And what are you painting right now?
I'm currently painting Tempestus Scions.
All right, but so are they an ally of Tau or what? What's going on there? Then?
Well, unfortunately, no. We have no Guivesa available to us in the town at the moment. But they are really good National Militarum. They're very grisly, one might say.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very grisly. All right, very nice, very nice, Jack. Well, looking forward to hearing all about your guard ticks, and not so much the Tau ones. We will move south of Jack Chapman to the wonderful, lovely John Scrivens. John Scrivens, how are you?
I'm really good. I've not long woken up from a nap, so I feel on form.
Same.
Oh, wonderful. And how have you? What are you not painting anything like Tom and Jack?
Well, my lists have all gone up by 10 points in one of my factions, and in my other faction, nothing's changed. So I'm very much still like, oh, cool, carry on as planned then, which is fine. So
yeah, fair enough. I need to convince you to come to the event at the weekend as well, don't I?
It's an early start, man.
Well,
that's the downside for me.
Half eight is registration, yeah, and then around starts, yeah. But we are going for a curry afterwards. John. There you go. Okay, lovely. Well, we'll leave you to dwell on that. Well, then shift to the right of John, right, left of John, to the wonderful Tom Lohman. Tom Lohman, how are you today?
I'm actually pretty good. Like John, I have had a nap because I have entered my need to nap era of age. I've been very busy this week, but I'm having a good time. I enjoyed watching everyone respond to the slate today and throwing zingers about, which I think I'm going to do in this as well. I think I've entered into this slate in a mood of throwing pyrotechnics, and I think
Tom's been on fire in our chat today, everyone.
So it's been a good time, and I'm building Wind Riders, and this is actually nothing to do with the slate because I submitted Wind Rider host for the GW event we're going to. I'm going to a Teams event this weekend coming, and we all took a detachment that isn't the obvious choice for what we've taken. So we all went with something a bit weird. Unfortunately, that means I have had so long. I knew I was going to do this weeks ago. I have not done anything about it. I've just been busy, and so now I have ended up in what we'll call the Ed Watts position. Where I need to sort an entire army in several days. Well, not an entire army, but certainly 18 Wind Riders. So that's preoccupying my attention at the moment.
Wonderful. All right. And Wind Rider horse has never been good, right? It was
no.
It's always been like straight. Really. No one takes it.
Yeah, I've certainly lost games with it. So I think it'll be tough. I think it will be a tough one to use.
Absolutely. Very good. All right. Well, let's go to the comment section, see what people are saying. We have Connor Nichols. Hello, team.
Lovely Connor.
Lovely Connor. We've got Azuma Kazuma.
That's a great name.
Hello, homies. Can anyone tell me why Templar got a nerf? A sub 50% army gets more nerfs than Ultra Asshats. I think that's because GW wants you to paint your Marines blue. And if you can do that quickly, that'll be great for them. Hubris D, even and all, great to meet Jack at the weekend.
Oh, cutie.
Yes, I think I know who that is, and yes, it's cool to meet you too, bro.
Oh, very nice. Dataslate hasn't been too bad. Okay.
Who said that? Hubris D. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. We've got Antal Biot. Hello, party people. I'm actually really enjoying writing Eldar lists today.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Good for you.
Good for you. Get back out there and make everyone cry, because it's still going to work. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Tom smoking the copium there. Elves still good. Yeah.
I think it's fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the lovely Gilad Boas. Hey all, no GW. I won't run Angron. You can't make me no matter how polished this particular turd is. Yes, we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. All right, we are going to talk Dataslate, guys. We're going to talk Dataslate. If you've got any hot takes in the chat, please write them in. If you super chat a question, we will answer it. And we're still doing the fundraiser, right?
Oh yeah,
we absolutely are, Davey, and that's a really good point. You're all amazing. Thanks for supporting us. If you haven't hit like and subscribe and you're new here, please do that. We have a bunch of YouTube members. I think it's north of 150. They're all absolutely incredible, and they help us fund what we're trying to do, which is basically take over the world. We're pretty reasonable. We just want the entire planet. You guys can help us with that. But one thing we're looking to do this year is take over a small portion of the world, and that is a big bunker or hangar or whatever it is somewhere where a bunch of the finest nerds in 40K play each other in the World Team Championships, and we want to go and stream and cover that event. So we need streaming gear to do it. We are fundraising on GoFundMe to achieve it, and we have had incredible support so far, and we would love to have more because every little bit donated helps us get towards our goal. We are mercenaries, essentially. So if you want to attach criterion to your donations, if there's things you want us to do, then by all means, please do. Preferably 40k based. Although Scrivo does have lovely feet, if anyone's wondering. So I would suggest letting us know in chat if there's any bargaining of 40k based variety you'd like. I believe I agreed to play Seer Council at some point last time out for a $5, which is obviously, it's that kind of a life. But yeah, feel free. And to that effect, we will also be doing a Thursday fight night next week, in which we're not only going to play doubles on stream. Yeah, and anyone with a good donation can basically determine the detachments we use for that. So do chuck some money in. We'll be playing doubles on stream, and we'll also have donations basically directly impacting the outcomes in games and affecting. You can basically chuck money in, and we will adjust the game in interesting ways as you go. So if that sounds like the sort of madness you'd like to watch and be involved in, then come and support us there. But just to reiterate, a huge thank you to everyone who's backed us so far, because we can't quite believe it. I think we've only been running for about a week. And we're already a good chunk of the way towards achieving our goals. So if us covering WTC sounds like something you'd like to see, then do get involved and support that.
So just to echo Tom's comments there, it's been amazing. Like, some of the stuff we've seen come through has been so generous, so kind, and it really just shows what a bunch of legends we have that watch this and consume this content.
Unreal community, yeah.
Very good. Right. All right. Let's get into it. We are going to talk about first of all, we're going to talk about our hot takes for our armies and what we, what we're thinking, how we're approaching events, things like that. We're then going to take maybe your suggestions on which factions to look at. If your faction isn't touched upon, then put it in the chat.
Yeah, if any super chat comes in, we are duty bound to immediately cover that army.
Absolutely.
So don't hesitate.
Absolutely. And if we get to £20, let's say £20, I mean, John, tell me up higher or lower than this. John could do a handstand with his socks off.
I think he could do that, yeah.
I don't think I can. I'm being very honest here. I'm not a very flexible person.
John structural integrity risked for £20. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. That's all right.
You might just see me as a puddle on the floor and you get to laugh at me. I think that's what you get.
I mean,
yeah, cool. Sure.
£20. That's a hot £20 right there. Hottest ticket in town. All right.
Yeah, a £20 donation will buy you picking whatever my detachment is for the doubles next week, if someone is interested. So do go.
There we go. Lovely.
Let's
get in. Yeah, well, there you go. Let's get into it. We're going to start with lovely John, actually. John, how are you feeling? What's your top line on the data slate? And give me your top. I mean, you mentioned that there's not been that many changes. Where do you think your army's now sitting in the meta?
Very much in the same place it was before. Like, to me, Dark Angels are in an alright. If I'm going for the Dark Angels end out of the two to start with, they do all right. And like, if you build it correctly, you can deal with things like the Victrix Guard that haven't seemed to have really had anything done to them. But yeah, sure. But it's a bit of a boring situation where if the army's in a nice place where it is, it's in that nice fat middle bit. It didn't need much changing, so they've made Azrog up 10 points, and Ravenwing Black Knights have gone down to the same price now as Outriders, which is really nice to see, because now it's kind of like there's a choice there. I'm not so convinced I'll still take them, because mine are half painted, but then there is a lot of faction specialists like our own Ben, who is screaming with excitement because he's gone, oh, cool, an excuse to drag them out and do something naughty. Like we saw at LGT, he did it with Outriders.
Yeah, he's been playing them
do it with different bikes
already, right? He had lists with them in, right?
Yeah. Well, he had the command squads. He didn't have the Black Knights, I think, because they're a little bit anemic in combat, but they're a bit better at shooting. So
and Outriders have that +1 damage and +1 AP.
Yeah, they're real cheap
on the
and
charge.
chunky.
Yeah. So it becomes a conversation there, which is nice. Then you actually see, I think, all the data sheets realistically in the actual supplement can be played if you ignore some of the characters that shouldn't exist. I'm looking at you, Baliol. That was my big disappointment, that there wasn't a rework on a couple of the characters, if I'm being honest, because some of them have not been touched all edition, which is a shame, especially like Belial, who had a new model. But otherwise, I can't complain really. Like Azrael going up 10 points when it's the defining, like the first thing you put in a list, not really surprising, is it? Like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, otherwise pretty happy.
John, I'm going to come back to you in just a second. We've got some breaking news. We've got this super chat right here. Get to it. I assume.
I think that's John doing a handstand.
I asked John doing a handstand.
We've had 2 donations for John.
With his socks on. Wait, John. Sorry, there's new news. New news just coming in. Thank you, DGen55, for that lovely super chat. We also have the wonderful Jack Stradler Dance giving us another £20.
I hate people, right?
Scribble, don't injure yourself, mate.
Yeah, please don't.
One handstand coming up.
Are you doing a handstand?
Just.
Oh my God.
That is, I'll be honest.
Lean against your desk. Scribble.
That's a strong
It's not working, guys.
I'll be honest, when you got up, Scrivo, I really thought you had some kind of training or secret skill that I didn't know about, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know Davey knew about.
I'm seeing stars.
your
That's
secret
great.
ability.
So I'll do a reverse handstand. Foot stand. Here you go, guys.
DGen in the chat says they paid for the toes script. I think the toes we can at least get out, right?
Jeez. Fine. God, what's happened to me, right?
For all the hottest data slate chat, join us.
Right, here you go.
There isn't
Here's
much.
some toes, guys, instead. Here's toe cam. There you go.
There isn't much Scrivo won't do for 20 quid. Oh, no.
I have no soul anymore.
You absolute
okay.
legend.
And amazing.
Amazing,
Can we top that? I don't think we can.
I think Scribbo's.
I've got a very confused wife sat next to me going, what are you doing?
Thank you, Scribbo. No more requests for physical action out of Scribbo, I think.
Yeah, I think Scribbo's earned his keep this time. Thank you, Scribbo. Right. Anyway, back to Scribbo. Enough handstands. Please tell me about what games you're going to make to your list.
So for Dark Angels, I have to literally find 10 points to save on every list. So it'll probably be downgrading one unit from like intercessors might suddenly become scouts. That's probably it. Bit disappointing, but never mind.
I mean, not much. I think that's one of the overarching themes of this data slate. Is it not too disruptive?
Yes.
And sometimes not disruptive enough in some places.
Distinctly uninterested in the fat middle is what I would say.
Which is what it should be to some extent, right? If you're doing okay, you shouldn't be getting
in an edition
taps.
for sure. Yeah.
So there's two ways to look at this, I think. I think one of them is you... the game has been around for nearly 3 years, right? It shouldn't be drastic changes needed. It should be tweaking.
It should.
That said, what an opportunity for GW to sell models if they just emphasized some crap units, made them better. And it feels like they've tried to do that in some spaces. There's some units that have got better. For example, the aforementioned Angron, they've got cheaper but not better. And we'll get to a few
That's
more
a value of
examples.
its own, right? In some respects, if it's cheap enough, you then go, well, it doesn't matter the quality of it because I could squeeze it in.
That's what she said.
thing.
Right. Okay. So we'll then move over to the wonderful Tom Lomond. Tom Lomond, what would you say the top line is for the factions that you play? Or the
Well,
point you want?
Davey, I think the headline would be that the archetype, which I have almost not lost with over the last few months because I wanted easier games, so I played some Eldari, has certainly taken some adjustment. I think it's fair to say. It's taken probably about roughly 100-point rise on lists, especially aspect-heavy lists.
Yeah.
And it has had a lot of adjustments, particularly to its transport-based non-interactivity. So that is the means of getting back in transports. Basically, riders have been added that require those units to have been eligible to fight in the fight phase in both Warhost, and Aspect Host. This isn't impossible, but it means two things. It means there's a bit more hoop jumping to actually get back in your transport at the end of the phase, and you may have noticed if your unit was eligible to fight, then it was probably very close to the opponent, which is not necessarily where a transport that's looking to repeatedly re-embark a shooting target wants to be. So I think that's quite a nice little safety check on that, stopping you abusing it, the transport get back in from too far away. And I think Warhost's Fire and Fade has now been banned from allowing a re-embark as well. So you've lost that double re-embark that Warhost had, which was a very obnoxious thing to play against, although to be honest, the damage in Aspect Host was so much worse to play against, I think, than Warhost anyway.
I think that was the biggest thing, right?
Aspect Host is, and the damage is still very much there, it's worth saying. That's not gone anywhere, right? It still kills things, kills the absolute bejeebus out of things. So I think those are the headline changes there for Eldari, and I think people will be pretty happy about that. I've got no massive complaints about it. I think... the other big one, and this is the one that probably in combo with those really hurts, is Star Engines has changed. So it's no longer D6+1 movement, it gives the unit assault. So that enormous threat range of transport goes yeeting out, disembark, shoot thing, get back in. That sort of sucker punch play has been incredibly toned down. People who played against that in the early stages of that build being a thing on UKTC will remember feeling relatively hopeless at doing anything about that. So I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. That original sort of alpha strike has gone. So Eldar, I think, probably the single most nerfed army in this slate, and I think probably that's reasonable. On balance, I think they were very strong, and I think this definitely does a lot for curtailing them. Now, the Eldar book's still really strong. Eldar units are still really strong. There are one or two surprising changes. I was surprised to see Storm Guardians and Eldrad copying 10-point nerfs. That felt a bit unnecessary.
Eldrad wasn't taking...
You take Eldrad in Warhost specifically to use the two strats, one of which now has been nerfed completely from its original function. So, and Storm Guardians, you will see one unit if they're investing in sticky. So, I wasn't quite sure what the logic there was. I don't know if they're just seeing off any pivots or whatever else. But yeah, other than that, I think it's all reasonable. And I think it's just that when points and rules get hit, that can send a faction scrambling a little bit. So it's going to be interesting seeing what Eldar do. And ironically, I think probably the matchup that swings the most is Eldar into like big knight things. The complexion of that game changes considerably if you can't fire dragon, get back in boat. And it'll be interesting to see if that swings incredibly hard, because obviously that was a big part of Eldar's identity at the moment, is that they absolutely put the big stuff in the ground. And it might be that gets a little tricky for them to do now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And is the new detachment going to be the way to play, do you think?
Harlequins, I think Harlequins is merely okay. I think it's cool, and I think if you want to play Harlequins, I think it's good. I still quite like Harlequins with aspects as a mix, because I think Harlequins have such glaring issues with certain units and certain strengths and weaknesses that you want to cover it with other things. But I think it's essentially... I don't think it's an insane detachment in and of itself. It's very CP thirsty. It's still the actual Harlequins data sheets, which themselves are not durable in any conceivable way now, but do have nice tricks and output. And so I'll be interested. I think people will experiment with it. I'll be interested to see what its ceiling is, and whether it actually gets people away from the aspects. At the end of the day, the Phoenix Lords are just phenomenal. The Phoenix Lord Aspect Lord combos are just some of the best packages for units in the game. And I don't see Harlequins in and of themselves drawing people away from that long term, but we'll see.
It seems like a fun way to play it. It has got the jank in it that you expect with elves, but it's not necessarily got the the killing power that the other detachment has.
No, exactly that. And if we think about what the meta we're going into, which as I see it is in essence Ultramarines, Guard, and Chaos Demons, I don't know how it gets on into that. And I don't think particularly well is the answer. So
Just writing down notes here, Tom. What were the 3 factions you said there?
Guard, Ultramarines, and Chaos Demons, probably
Guard,
of the Siege variety, is very much
Ah.
what I see the winners of this slate as being.
Why did the chicken cross the road, Tom?
Why did the chicken cross road to shoot me repeatedly in the face?
Because his damage became flat
behind
3.
the wall, apparently. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't even need to cross the road anymore because its range is 18
In
inches.
terms of joined up thinking, there is something glorious about going after one form of non-interactivity in the same slate that literally amps up another form of non-interactivity by giving the Zeech demons and all their indirect even better damage. But we'll comment on that another time. That's fine. People can enjoy
They'll
that.
fix it in their codex, Tom.
We've behind the scenes in England land, we've been playing against the chickens for a little while now, so we've known it's coming and not been able to do anything about it because it is what it is. That's another army that's definitely worth commenting on. I think Scintillating Legion Demons looks very spicy now with the improvements to Lords of Change and Kairos with the boosted damage. We had a question in chat from Russ Weasel about Eldari saying, would Eldari balance have been improved by a buff to weaker units like Race? The reality is Race aren't a weak unit. I've seen Spirit Conclave achieve 4-1, 5-0 results at events the entire way through this point. And this is something I've talked about with people before, but basically all the Eldari detachments are good. There's not, if you see a lower win rate on Eldari detachment, it's not because it's not good, it's because people are favouring one of the others, and I think that's important to stress. And the book has the best balance of strength across detachments of any of the books that's out, which is why you have to handle the other detachments carefully. You don't want to hand out compensatory buffs to Eldar right now, because those other things just are good, just underexplored. And Spirit Conclave Race with the Avatar is a really strong skew list that does really, really nice things. So I think people will find, as they play around with Eldar, there's lots of options still in there. And the reality is, and as people who know me will have seen, I have played a lot of Eldar lately and builds where I'm not bothered about getting back in boats, and they still win games very decisively. Right?
You don't need to get in the boat, right? If
Got a fight night. You've got a fight night where Fuegan doesn't get in a boat. Doesn't matter very much. I think the reach on Fuegan with the star engines is certainly relevant. I think that's the one thing that really hurts that unit, but you can do a lot of damage with Eldari without the boat. Things like Seer Council, for example, or even Warhost, where you ditch the transports and just use Fire and Fane. There's all sorts of interesting directions you can travel with it, but then I think what's nice about the different directions that encourages is it makes Eldar more vulnerable to their traditional weaknesses, things like indirect, which other armies I think at the moment will be looking to exploit a bit, because if they lose the transport capacity, that nudges them in that direction, which levels the playing field a little bit, I think.
It makes them play a slower game, right? And I think the problem with Eldari for me
100%.
was that they played the game so fast. Even my armies, when they're aggressive, were just getting smacked around.
Yeah. I played a lot of games with this rule set that amount to sort of summary executions, right? And that's not really what you want.
No, absolutely.
I mean,
and of course, Tom, we know that you're known for playing whimsical, pointy-eared, janky nonsense, but few people might know that you're also a dwarf stand.
Oh yes, I did. When Eldar were actually really, really broken, I played Votann for 3 months out of penance and guilt, and got very attached to the little guys. They've got some nice buffs here. They got a buff, some points drops to Barry Egnesson, the little lone op get back up hero, who's now 95 points. I think he's very appealing, 95 points. The Arcanist, my favourite little pocket dynamo, self-killing dwarf with a big gun, went down 10, so 65. So just think of him as a Reductus Saboteur. He's on a one-way ticket. He's going to have a great time. And take 3 of him. I think that's very reasonable. And Steeljacks went down in points. Me and Greg Chamberlain, big dwarf player, we're talking about Steeljacks. We both think Steeljacks are rubbish, and we have the entire time. The 5 movement on them is maddening, but you can put a lot of them on the board. You can put a lot of them on the board now. Stadler Dance was already running Triple Arcanist in the chat. What a hero! I think it was my favourite unit when the book came out, just because he's a bit weird and wonderful. So that's awesome, Stadler Dance, and I really like the Arcanist at 65 points.
Very good.
They look really positive, and I think the armies at the top of the game were all bad games for them, so that all getting nerfed helps Votann massively. So yeah, I think Votann come away from this in a solid spot.
Yeah, having played a few games into Votann, the MSU style that they have is super difficult to deal with. And if more people are not preparing for elves as much, which is lots of 5 wound or 6 wound rather body units, all with 1 or 2 wounds between them, it feels like if people are preparing for that less, that Votann will get stronger. We'll see.
Yeah, I think so, and I don't think the book's been bad at any point, right?
Oh, no.
We've talked about it on here. It's just it has a streaky matrix. It has some games where it gets outmaneuvered, and you're thinking, well, which armies are those now at this stage? But I think Votan will carry on plugging and doing its thing, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see if any of the other detachments jump out. But for me, I think it's still Hearthband is just very good.
Very cool. And we'll move on to the wonderful RTT attending Jack Chapman.
Bosh.
Jack, how are you feeling? Let's start with the bad and we'll go to the good. How are you feeling about the everyone's favourite faction, Tau?
Yeah, I think so. The changes Tau got they got 10 points up on their Riptides, and they got 10 points up on Skyrays for
Yes,
some reason.
that's a weird choice, isn't it?
Yeah. And then points down. They got points down on strike teams and
Is it Pathfinders? No, Breaches.
Breaches also went down.
Breaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think there was a third thing that went down, but I can't quite remember. But either way, yeah, they're interesting changes. I mean, the Riptide was going to go up. It was inevitable the Riptide was going to go up. There were so many people bitching about it. It was just going to happen. And I think beyond that, I think I mentioned it before. Like, if you put much more than 10 points on a Riptide to the Tau army, it really starts to hurt them because they've already been nerfed considerably by the stealth suit change.
Yes.
And I think only going up for 10 points is about as good as they could have hoped for. But the changes for breaches and strike teams are interesting. I think that breaches going down is very nice to offset that change to the Riptides themselves. Because if you're already taking breaches, then each breacher squad you're taking offsets the points increase on the Riptide. So that's fine. Like it's a points cut on a unit that is actually relevant to Tau list. It's not like, Firesight Marksman or fucking Crew Rampages or whatever, like no one cares about. So it is actually relevant. But the strikes are also particularly interesting because the problem with strikes is that they're kind of outperformed in their role by Croup, 65 points because they were 70. I think they were 75.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, so they've gone down 5, I think now.
It's 70 points for 10 models. I imagine they're OC2, right?
They are.
They are OC2. The problem is, so their rule is they shoot something and that thing gets -1 to hit for the next turn if it's not a vehicle or monster, which is kind of pointless. Let's be honest.
It is.
Man. I don't know. That seems pretty good, to be honest.
If it's remembered.
Tau players don't shoot stuff to debuff it for next turn, Davey. Have you met Tau
yeah.
players? That's not what they're doing at all.
No, that's fair. Okay, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
I will say that the problem with it, because they're not as fast as Crew. They're not. They don't have scout like Crew do, and sticky objectives is generally just a more useful rule. However, them now being only 5 points more, they do have the benefit. The two things they have over Crew is they have a better save. They have a 4-up save rather than a 6-up, and they have an innate -1 to wound against range attacks. So those are both like strong abilities, and I think for a 5-point difference, like you can justify taking the strikes, even as like a home objective sitter. Yeah. And if you're doing that, at that point, you can then justify attaching ethereals to them.
Yes.
Because you're going to take ethereals anyway. If you're doing that, then you may be able to justify taking one of the 40-point upgrades in Carrion and Montcar to give sustained or lethal when you observe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. You'd have to run the numbers on that and see if it's worth it.
If, for example, 2 of the 3 emerging strong armies in the game were going to shell your backfield, you might want your ethereal to have little mates to protect him rather than having on his own.
And he gets Fiona Pain. So your unit is now with a 4-up save, a -1 to wound, and a 5-up Fiona Pain.
Yeah, it's a nice little unit, that, actually.
It would be a shame if Indirect became a thing again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Maybe it's time. Maybe we're just due, right? Maybe it's time.
Yeah, we've had it too good for too long. But don't worry, because Jack's going to be taking 3 Storm Surges, right, Jack?
I don't own any Storm Surges, unfortunately. I am a fake Tau player.
Did you mean unfortunately, or did you say that sarcastically?
Kind of. They could look cool, so I would like one.
Yeah.
But would you put one on the table, Jack? Is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah,
no.
absolutely would. Jack would love that triple Storm Surge and 120 Crew list that used to be the thing. That was a great time.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be lining up to run that. I'll be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting changes for the town. I think there's definitely opportunities for list building changes there, which is super cool.
I'd love to know what the logic behind the Skyray points rise is, because that does feel harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's very weird. The dynamic you get with the sky rays and the hammerheads, right? Because the hammerhead is obviously it is a good anti-tank weapon as long as you're not just going to throw them into 4+ invulnerable things.
Yeah.
But even then, they're better than most single shot things into 4 invulnerable saves.
Yeah.
They have dev wounds. But the problem with the hammerhead you often have, especially, well, let's say if you go the ion route, I personally don't like the ion route, but if you do go the ion route, what you end up is the hammerhead is being really specialized, and the Skyray is a little bit less so.
Yeah.
It also functions as an observer because it has a marker light, so it can give you ignore cover. Its rule is a little bit more useful when it activates, I think. Being rerolls hit against flyers. They're just useful against more targets. But when you see tank spam lists, you will often see like multiple hammerheads, multiple Skyrays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand the logic behind it. I think they just wanted to take a bit of a points hike on some Tau lists. A lot of them don't even include Skyrays. It's just
that's
I don't
the thing.
really know.
I understand the Riptide because it literally is a staple in every type of build I ever see, but the Skyray I definitely don't. So it does seem a little. That one I'm not sure was needed. But
at the same time, you can just ignore it, right? So
yeah,
Do you think there'll be a change in detachment, Jack? Do you think is Moncar, Scout, and Stealth still the main detachment? Do you think, or do you think we can flip it up a bit with some of these changes?
It's still good. I think it's not going to be the best. It's definitely not the best option on UKTC anymore with the map changes. But that's nothing to do with the changes that we've seen in game. I think probably going to be looking more towards Orcs Cadre and Rec Cadre.
Yeah, that's
kind of the directions you're looking at for competitive play now. Depending on, I think Orcs Cadre tends to work better on GW, and I think Rec Cadre works a bit better on UKTC, and then for WTC the jury is out, to be honest.
There's
lots of disagreeing theories on that one.
That is fair.
moving to an army that will have a detachment changeover. Guard. Guard, mate.
Well, Guard is got no changes.
Yes.
So there, nothing happened. That was it.
Perfect.
Apart from the new detachment, of course,
which is quite.
Grizzle Company. So that is super interesting for them in the sense that there's a lot of units in Guard that just don't get used because they're pointed really weirdly. They have a lot of like just randomly overcosted units. So it's a shame to see some of them not changed. But that's not that bad of a problem, to be honest. I think there were a lot of things that people were worried were going to go up in price, like Kassakin, but they haven't. So that's pretty good, which is especially good because the Grizzle Company makes such good use of units like that. I think it's...
As a Turnip player, I can tell you that getting this detachment suddenly that rerolls ones to hit, it seems pretty compelling.
Yeah, it's a force multiplier that's very flexible, isn't it, on Guard? And Guard, it's worth saying, have been one of the most consistent event winners in the last few months.
They're a bit like...
definitely take the top, but Guard have been right up there.
They're a bit like Space Marines, right? Where their general win rate is quite low, but they tend to have high performance individuals.
100%, yeah.
Because they've got loads of players that turn the turret to shoot the model that it's shooting, and then have different names for every one of the tanks.
Loads of goddamn heroes.
And then we also have Wesley St. Hines, who takes 100 guys and the rest to WCW. So,
I've named all of my tanks, so now I feel bad.
No.
Am I not allowed to name my tanks?
Make room noises with your tanks, Jack. It's the way to live.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna skip past that. I need to stop talking about my tanks.
Are they called Thomas, James, Percy, and Gordon?
Oh, hero.
They should be.
It's good names.
Yeah, so
you're going to be taking this detachment this weekend, do you think?
Yes, I'm going to be taking this detachment this weekend. I think it's going to be a really interesting time. I think people are saying it's going to be one of the top
meta armies. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it's going to be really good. I don't think it's going to reach Admech or Eldar of last Dataslate strengths because I think it has it's very mappable, right? It literally just does move, and that's it. It doesn't advance or do anything. It's not super quick, and it doesn't really have any like fallback and shoot or capabilities or anything like that.
Neither did I swear host, mate.
Yeah, and there's not really any. There's not really
Chapman's
any.
playing down how good his army is. I can't believe it.
I'm just saying.
Never
I
happened.
think
Yeah,
what
I know,
I'm-
and he's reached straight for the Vic VJ excuse of no fallback and shoot as well.
what I was gonna say is
Yeah.
I can absolutely see how there's gonna be there's lots of very obvious pitfalls for
Yes.
players to fall in here.
Yeah.
It isn't literally just I bring this and there's nothing you can do and I'm gonna
No,
win.
completely. And guard actually isn't easy to use to the highest level. It
Yeah.
hasn't been
It's-
at any point.
It's honest Warhammer, but when you play honest Warhammer, it's just reliable honest Warhammer. It's
Yeah.
kind of the long and short of it because it gives damage and it gives durability.
Yeah.
You just don't have any extra ability to get anywhere on the board.
Have I been
so-
on here since they gave them Armour of Contempt? I haven't, have I?
No.
Can I just briefly say, Armour of Contempt was a rule that was introduced to represent the incredible and unique armor that Space Marines had, and now they've just fucking pissed it all over every
And-
army in the game. Every army in the game has got the Guard have got an extra like bumper sticker on it, or there's some duct tape or something. Like, oh, that's -1 AP on a door. That's
You know,
fine.
you do remember that all the Imperial Guard tanks had AOC as well, right? When
Did they
brought
actually
AOC.
back in
yes,
the day?
they did.
Yeah,
Well, I
they did,
reject
they did.
that, Jack. I reject that because it doesn't suit my narrative. So I don't want it. Okay.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. I do like how the detachment kind of plays into Guard's strengths
Yes.
and not make
Pretty
them
cool
good at things. Then,
detachment, right?
yeah, exactly, like
Yeah.
durability and quantity over quality, but they kind of
Yeah.
just increase the quality of stuff. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't encroach into areas where Guard is not supposed to be good. It doesn't
No,
make
that's
Guard blindingly fast or whatever. So
It's a
I
very cool, nuanced opinion, Jack. I like that.
So I like that. I have not played any games with it yet, so I don't know how good it is.
Rob Kimpton.
That may change after this
Prichard on
weekend.
his first game with it, so he quite liked it. He
Yeah,
did it
I
quite
may
good.
turn around and say it's broken after this weekend. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. We're in the we don't know stage. But I think any detachment that gets David Gaylord writing 3 lists and putting a video out about it always has me mildly concerned. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Mate.
Well, Jack, perhaps you could do a RTT report next week.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, I was considering doing that. As long as nothing goes catastrophically wrong, and then I should do it.
There's nothing worse about it. Like I can tell you from experience, there's nothing worse than doing a tournament report when you just absolutely ate shit all weekend.
Yeah.
Like I have
Nobody,
to relive that entire
nobody
experience.
ever wants to do that, but it does mean we can get the Jack Chapman salute image back out, which is the single best thumbnail image we have in our entire roster is Jack doing his guard
It's
salute.
so good.
So that would be sick. Oh, thank you. We've got a chat, Davey.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get to those chat. I'm going to go through the chat now. So I'm going to tell you about what I think about my armies. But if you want to cut that right out, what I want you to do is put in the super chat for a $5 and tell us what army you want us to look at. If we haven't mentioned it already, stick it in there. We will talk about it. But for now, I'm going to talk about my armies. But we're going to just quickly look through the chat. What we've got. I just want to highlight this one as well. Bonsai Kitty Gaming celebrates 1 month of membership. Thoughts on sisters? Love the content, team. Thank you for your membership, Bonsai Kitty Gaming. By the way, guys, we do membership. You get special videos. You get access to our King of the Ping, which will start again on the 9th of January. That's our
TTS
Discord league,
Plus in
which
it.
is super cool. I run it, so I'm a little bit biased, but we have amazing feedback. I will be doing a video about it soon, basically advertising it to you. And yeah, it's fab. It's fabulous. All right, quickly running through the chat here. We'll go to our from DGen55. Thank you again for another super chat, mate. Do basic Space Marines. Oh, I mean Vitrix Guard. My bad. I'm sick of the colour blue. All right, you want us to discuss them? Let's do that right now, then.
Yeah, emergency tap on what was demonstrably a broken army, and it's still demonstrably broken. Is my assessment here.
Yeah.
You're talking about losing like a unit out of that like 20 Victrix Guard list, which I think the consensus certainly behind the scenes where we're testing it is just very, very little in the game beats that. And obviously, one of the armies that did have a shot at beating that has also eaten the dirt here with the Eldar nerfs and adjustments as well. So I think it's Victrix time for a little while here.
Yeah. I do think the Guard has a very solid matchup into the Victrix.
There he is. It's not good, but it can beat currently agreed to be the best army in the game. So there we go. Is that with the damage for Baneblade?
No, it's actually
Riders?
Tempestus Scions and
Nice.
And the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Both can quite easily pick up a unit of Victrix because
Yeah, that's nice.
the thing about Victrix is that, as with most resilient units, they're very resilient to conventional shooting armies.
Yes.
It's when you start in order for if you're just going to shoot them with ballistic skill 3 and no rerolls,
Yeah, you're
just not going to do anything. But if
Yeah.
you turn around and you add lethals and sustained and ignore cover and plus AP and everything else, then they do actually die.
For sure.
Which Scions can absolutely do. And of course, melter guns in close combat that Rough Riders have are very useful for taking out.
Yeah,
Victrix.
nice.
So I think that's going to add a lot to the Guard stocks. The ability to play well into Victrix.
And
gonna do
guys,
a lot
just take what Jack's saying here as great best practice, right? Go away, look at your book, find the solution to the problem, right? Yes, Victrix are going to be awful. They're really, really good. But here's the thing, everyone's going to be trying to kill them. So they're going to be targeted. And it's,
They are going to be
you know
targeted.
what,
But
that's not
I think
always going to work.
The reality for Marines is just that they had very exceptional +1 to wound oath shooting builds, and you only need to plug like a couple of units of Victrix into those, and those are still exceptionally strong. And I think they look really strong, and will still be really strong. As Jack says, it is a strength you can prep for, and you have answers, and there are answers out in the game. I'm not saying this is insufferable, but I think this is going to be very prevalent for a long time. And the only thing that might make it a bit less so is if I think the new Space Wolves and Blood Angels attachments both look really interesting, and I think they might draw those players in a bit, which will help spread Marine players out a bit potentially.
I will say as well, just my last point on this. Top tip for any Guard players trying to beat Victrix: you run 10 Scions with a command squad with the double plasma melter, and you give him the target their weakness, target weak spot.
Yeah.
I think it is order from the enhancement that gives him +1 AP,
Yeah.
and you give him first rank fire, second rank fire. That will kill 6 on average if they don't AOC, which you can ensure by using a Calidus Assassin, bringing it in within 12 from deep strike within the Victrix unit.
Yeah,
So you can ensure they don't
He's
do
thought about it. He's thought about
Yeah,
it a lot.
you absolutely have to have these units, right? You have to have these units that kill the Victrix. And I think the interesting thing is just do the points changes do enough for the current plan of the Ultramarines player? And I've spoken and seen Nas play this a lot, which is he gives you some Victrix to kill and then he tables you after you've killed the first wave of Victrix. And that's the question here, is which armies are able to do that. And hopefully there are more of them than we see. Every time we have these slates, they actually, the meta generally settles down into a relatively happy place. So I'm going to elect to have faith it's going to do the same. But I think, given how powerful Victrix have demonstrably been in the field, this is a very light tap for them.
And it's not the only thing that got kind of attention in the Marines slate as well, which is interesting because Victrix basically replaced Shadowmark in as much as people bring that instead. But that's all the stuff that was being used in that has taken a hit.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I don't think Raven Guard ever fully lived up to its hype. So a bunch of nerfs to that feels quite harsh.
And especially when those units were being used elsewhere, like Centurions outside of that, probably not as effective. So it's a shame for other players.
And it's a more interesting and techie way to play Marines anyway, so I don't like it when those suffer and then it just becomes shoved 2-up save dudes on the point, right?
Yeah, I bet when they wrote that detachment, they were thinking, "Oh God, we need to make that link between Raven Guard and Centurions that they're so famous."
Yeah.
I hope they do just fucking bring that into the lore now. And
that'd be
if you're
quite
Codex compliant, you have every type of troop, so
that's
they just have
true.
favoured troops.
Am I right in saying Salamanders don't have land speeders?
What?
So I got told when I was a Salamander stan in my first year playing 40k that I had 3 land speeders, and they were like, "But Salamanders don't have land speeders."
I have absolutely no idea what that's
Apparently,
about.
due to the gravity on Nocturne or something.
Oh, that could make sense, to be
Yeah.
fair. That could
I don't know.
Too heavy.
I've definitely seen heavy metal painted Salamanders land speeders
With
before.
melters, because they like melters, right?
They do like
so.
that.
Yeah. God, I wish I never saw my Salamanders army. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But in terms of the other changes for Space Marines, aggressors still not going to be played, right?
They've got a place.
Yeah, they're cheap now. That is cheap.
Yeah.
For
Cheap
T-stick,
Daka with
3
twin link
wound.
fists.
I think Joe, our Blood Angels player, was getting quite excited about the prospect of those potentially in a Blood Angels direction. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
We've got Eradicators as well, losing 20 points on a 6-man and 10 points on a 3-man.
It's
Mm.
cheap.
Just not in
It's
that.
cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Those
Pretty
do
good.
feel like Salamander's targeted buffs, actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
Please run something other than vehicles, I beg you.
Yeah,
Just games workshop.
yeah, exactly.
But yes, hope we've and then Centurion's got that hit as well, and
Good.
Shan as well did as well. But if you're wanting to play White Scars, why not play Kassar or Khan, who lost 10 points,
Oh.
now 60 points?
Is that the foot one?
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
the geezer on the bike.
that's
isn't
the
it?
foot. No, that's the foot one.
Oh, is it the
Yeah,
foot one?
It's the guy on foot with a bird. I think he'll
The
stay
other
on
one's
foot with a bird.
Saboden Khan. I only know this because I bought one this week.
Yes, I did see that.
Well,
we
at least
have-
he's got a bird
few-
to talk to on the bench.
We have a few more chat shout-outs we need to do, Davey, before we move it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. We've got what we got here, right? So thank you for that, DGM 55, by the way. Wix K has just become a member.
You hero,
Yes,
thank you, Wix.
Thank you very much.
Nice. What a
Come and join
beard.
us on
Glorious.
King of the Ping. We've got Benji giving us a super chat, £5. Orcs really needed something to make them less reliant on the 500-point gas brick. It's auto take if you want to be competitive, which doesn't feel good. You know, you've just had it. You've only had it a couple of months.
Yeah. I think the risk people had with this is because it felt so good on its one turn that they were going to do something to it. But in reality, I don't disagree. Like, having other options so that it's not just, this is how we start the build, would have been maybe nice, but the
Where
faction
do
kind of
they
runs
even
right,
go?
right?
Where do they even go
Yeah.
with orcs now? Like every unit pretty much has had its moment and then been adjusted
Apart from-
where needed, right?
Apart from the buggies this edition, but
Yeah.
that's more of a terrain
Yeah.
issue. And I want them to be careful with that because we saw what it was like when you gave them advance and shoot and have their planes just strip people's saves off them and stuff. It wouldn't
But
be
it's
fun.
so hard, isn't it? Because they're such a they are branded a melee army, but they've got half the data sheets of guns, and they're fun, really interesting guns. You've got the
And almost
Death
every gun
Copter.
they have is a damage 3 rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or something's randomly like one shot, but it's D6 plus 4 or something stupid, and you're just like, cool, it could
But
happen.
when you have a million shots that hit on 5, you can that can be broken super easy, right? And that's the
Often it
problem.
is.
There's
Yeah.
no rule you can put in there that can just make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Completely.
I think something about orcs that's, to keep in mind is that okay, the Gaz and 20 brick, like that's about as iconic as with orcs as you can get, right? Like,
Yeah, it's an incredible unit.
and at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like no unit stays in competitive play forever, right? So it'll probably be gone in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So you know,
So the addition, Jack.
I guess
True
so.
that. True that.
But you know, enjoy it while you can.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
these things won't be around forever, and you know, 1 year from now, you might be saying, "God, I really wish I could run Gaz. I wish he wasn't so shit." You know,
Don't
so
you dare.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
like to enjoy it again.
as a short-term build around, I think it's fine
Yeah.
for orcs. And I think orcs have had probably one of the wildest, most volatile balance rides of the edition, and they're in a perfectly solid spot right now. So that gas brick does work in literally any of the detachments. So even if you go the other way with it and say, what I'm going to do for my fun is try the gas brick in every orc detachment and just see what
It's
happens.
so good in Bully Boys, man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places you can take that, and that was quite fun. But yeah, I think as Jack says, enjoy it whilst it's a thing, because who knows if that makes it into the next edition at all. I'm just going to grab a drink. 1 second, lads. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've got to the end of the chat there. But if you have any more comments, you've got any more super chat, stick it in. £5. We'll talk about any army you like. And again, all this goes towards us putting on a fantastic event for you, where we're going to stream it, and it's going to be wonderful. Cool. Right. So yeah, let's talk about. We'll go with Tyranids first, right? Because Tyranids, right?
Yeah.
So we saw not many changes within Tyranids. We saw Carnifexes get
Oh.
a decrease in points. So
Is it fair to say, Davey, that you're bringing Fexy back?
Yeah.
there's no Fex appeal from me, unfortunately. I've thought about this a lot today. Right? I'm like, okay, 90 points, T9,
so cheap.
8 wounds. It's like a box dreadnought, right? It's 2 up armor. Cannot hit a barn door, right?
No.
But
So it's a
90
death ride.
points. You know, we are looking at the same points cost well, we're fighting in the same realm. Not saying it's the same, but the same realm as like a lot of our 75-point units, right? Here's the thing, though. It moves 8. You can't hit a barn door unless it's got all one eye, or it's in Crusher Stampede where you get the reroll hits stratagem. You can get reroll 1s to hit, but that's only a coin flip if you roll a 1. So it's not that compelling to me. You can stick him in Crusher Stampede and they can go through a wall, so that mitigates a little bit of the 8-inch move. But in reality, it's just slow. You for sure you're going to send them through a wall in Crusher Stampede, and you've got to roll a 1, and then they can't even surge. There's a cool world where you can stick them on an objective, and your opponent, with some of the other tools we have. So, for example, rapid ingressing, like I don't what you call it, like rapid ingressing and melee threat, or something with fight first potentially that is coming to fight the Carnifex. You can, there's different like things you can do, different traps you can set, but it's just not quite compelling enough. So for me, 90 points or 180 for 2, right? Another comparison you can make is 2 Carnifexes or a Maleceptor.
Yeah.
Now, the Carnifexes do hit, obviously, a lot harder than a Maleceptor, even on 4s to hit. But a Maleceptor just does the role that Tyranids need it to. Tyranids don't really need a Carnifex. Because...
I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah, I'm just not there with it. Someone's going to make an amazing list next week and I'll eat my hat. But... I would love them to be good. Where you will benefit, or where there is a kind of build, is the old invasion fleet lists where you would take 2 and old 1 eye. They've become a bit cheaper. Cool, go for that. Enjoy it. And then Screamer Killers, again, slow as balls. They will live and breathe in subterranean assault armies on GW terrain, and maybe even a little bit of UKTC, where you can run through flat terrain.
Is this 4 for 4 in slates that Screamer Killers have been buffed and people have had no interest in using?
No, they didn't last time. I think it was the time before.
No, okay.
It was the time before, but
sure,
because they started up at 170, I think it was.
I was going to say they've come down. They've been on a real points journey, haven't they, over this edition?
Yeah. So, and you might see some mad lads or mad lasses in Synaptic Nexus might be taking them because there's the Battle Shock synergy.
We like Battle Shocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to get Victrix Guard to not not surge, right? Is to battle shock them. But good luck with that. Just good luck. So yeah, that's where I'm feeling. I'm not really taking any of the units that have been decreased in points personally, because I'll be going to play on UKTC, which broadly speaking is still going to be, I think, a little bit shooting focused. You're going to need melee, but you're going to need fight first melee. You're going to need fight and death melee, not big stupid monster can't get to the objective melee.
That's fair.
I feel like what Tyranids really need on UKTC is for stuff like Warriors and Raveners to be like a really dangerous melee threat.
Yeah.
And then they'd probably do a lot better, but like that's just not where we're living right now with Tyranids. So.
Raveners are good. They are good.
I think.
They're all right.
There's a lot of stuff that kills Raveners for fun, right? That's the issue.
Yeah. And anything with -1 damage, me playing Bulgrin.
Yeah.
I played Bulgrin at an event at a GT the other weekend. I was like, I just don't know how anything in my army kills these.
Yeah, Bulgrin will pick up an entire squad of Raveners in one combat round. And
and they do it one-handed. Raveners have 4 arms.
Fortunately, they learned important lessons with Bulgrin and took away their ability to receive orders. So I think we should be okay unless they've somehow given that back to them.
Hey, at least they don't have move anymore.
That's true. At least they don't.
Armor contempt the Bulgrin, can you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can. Yes.
So even if I'm AP1, just trying to get it onto the invul. Yeah.
No, yeah, 3 save now, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
That's Tyranids. I think you. I think if Eldar have been we're going to be playing against Demons, we're going to be playing against Space Marines, and we're going to be playing against Guard. I actually think Vanguard Onslaught probably gets a little bit better in that meta because they can take over the board, get a bit of presence.
It used to be quite a decent game into Guard with the Vanguard, but like perilous. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you're going to need to really time all your units into the chaff before getting the hybrid actives into the Rogal Dawns. But again, it's just trying to get around them Bulgrin, and there'll be 1 or 2 units of Bulgrin, you would imagine.
I suspect there will be, Davey, yes.
Yeah, I should have asked you about this, Tom. But GSC, I mean, I only play one detachment in GSC, but nothing changed.
Yeah, GSC, I honestly couldn't even tell you. And this was they asked in the Goonhammer office. They were like, "Where do you think GSC are at?" And it was like, I couldn't tell you because I've not tried to even know. I've not even played them to know. And I don't think the army's bad. I just think it arrived at everything's been done, everything's been buffed, everything's been nerfed. I think they are probably entirely fine. Probably not massively exciting. They don't suddenly emerge as a top meta menace off the back of this, I wouldn't think. And it's a bit of a nothing slate for them. Doesn't impact them in any way.
That's how I feel, right? So another well-renowned Warhammer 40k YouTube channel has said, "Oh yeah, they needed help." Blah blah blah.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so. I think it was all right actually.
I think the army's fine. It's just it's landed a bit like Orcs. Like it's landed down at balance, and now you don't do anything stupid that accidentally puts it back up into not balance, and that's not fun for people when your rules come in. We all want something that gets things out of hands, right?
Yeah, Atlantic kicks people's ass.
I think they're handling GSC fine. I just don't think there's been the interest at the top of the game in exploring the army of late, and it's hard to know where it sits. So it might be something to actually try and find out at some point soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still taking them this weekend. I think.
Nice, great.
Yeah, because we'll get to World Eaters now. So World Eaters,
yeah, that's good news for GSC.
World Eaters. Say again, Jack.
So I was saying, World Eater changes is a reasonably good news for GSC.
Yeah. So World Eaters is a funny one, right? So World Eaters changes really. Hey, if you were taking 20 mans, you get extra tax here because the Lord on Juggernaut has gone up 15 points. Slaughterbound, hey, if you were taking Exalted 8 pounds, you've just paying a tax because your Slaughterbound character that you put with them has gone up 15 points. And if you wanted to take any of the enhancements that you like, they've gone up 10 points. So your interesting, the kind of classic World Eaters Berserker Warband lists have all gone up in points, and which is hard because World Eaters are renowned for not being able to fill 2,000 points, right? It's either like 1,960 or above 2,000.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're going to have to rejiggle everything. The problem is that the other detachment just aren't there. Possessed Slaughterbound, Josie did amazing with them.
It's cool, but it isn't good.
Super cool detachment. But I've tried to build lists with it, and you only get like 9 units or something. So it's not quite there. Vessels of Wrath could be interesting, but it always feels like a less good Berserker Warband.
Yes.
And then the other ones are kind of memes, really, if I'm honest. I mean, Gortrak Onslaught has probably got some really cool jank in it, but you don't play World Eaters to get back in a Rhino or whatever. So
You play Eldar.
yeah.
Not anymore, you don't.
Not anymore. I only have about 4 ways to get back in that thing now, rather than.
Oh, it's a shame.
Seemingly infinite.
Like the coolest thing about Gortrak, you can scout a Rhino, then advance it. No, then you can get out the Rhino after it's moved and then charge. So you're like banking on a 6-inch charge or something like that. That's quite good. But then your Berserkers hit with Strength 4, and you're like, this isn't what I wanted. But of course, all of that is completely offset by the fact that Angron has come down 20 points.
Beautiful. We're cooking.
Yeah.
We're so back.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with Angron,
You
he's
sound so
probably
enthusiastic.
he's the best thing that can kill Bulgrin and Vitrix Guard in the book. And even that, he doesn't do amazing because you've got 4 pinballs on Bulgrin and an Armor of Contempt. I mean, I think it's AP4, so like he's still going to get like a 5 up with Vitrix, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be spending your 340 points killing 1 unit and then it just getting bodied the next turn.
Yeah.
His comeback mechanics rubbish.
It actually gets bodied in the turn you send it in because they fight on death and kill him.
Yeah, with +1 to wound and reroll hits.
Do
Something
you
else
think they're
gets
gonna?
bodied in your turn in the turn.
Do you think they're gonna have to patch him again in 8 weeks, 8 days, 8
Oh,
hours, and 8
John.
hours later? Because
On
that feels like what it's
theme.
going to be, right? Like, it just feels like inevitable that they're going to keep having to try and fix him.
I hope that we see some people try him out, and it'll be interesting to see where he falls. But he's not. He doesn't look like, oh, that's so good that it will be everywhere, does it? It's more like that.
No.
That might be
He's
good
got-
at some things, and will be worth a look.
He's getting
in some
side
places.
eye, isn't it? At least people are like going, "Oh, maybe. Where is he? Is he in that
So
shelf?"
I actually like the Lord of Skulls, right? 505 points. It's a lot. It's a
You
lot.
always love the Lord of Skulls.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
David,
always
that's
wanna
not
play
that's
a
not
Lord
a
of Skulls.
competitive rationale. That's just you like the Lord of Skulls.
I just like it. Yeah, but it's a lot of shots, right? And it is a high OC, and
It is.
it does things. So I played it against. Oh, who did I play against? I can't think now. Oh, I played it against. I found a game on TTS, and yeah, what did he kill? He killed like 2 5-man screening units, and then died to a million shots from Scarab Cult Terminators.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yep.
so good fun. Good fun.
I feel like the World Eater changes are like an example of balance changes because the army is being played in a way that wasn't intended.
Yeah.
I feel like I think the changing the Juggernaut Lord is an intelligent change if you want to prevent multiple 20-man units of berserkers.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think the points increase on the Slaughterbound, I think that's what it's called, is the character, right?
Yep.
Is good if you're just trying to prevent solo Slaughterbound guys running around.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason they don't want World Eaters players to do that is my best guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the problem is that they've kind of reducing options in that book right now without creating more is not a
Pretty
thing.
cruel, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
Jack, they've made Angron 20 points cheaper.
So you're going to run Angron, right?
No.
Yeah, you are going to
Well,
run
there
Angron,
you
right?
go.
No, absolutely not.
They've sort of
Thank
settled
fuck.
down on
Get
their own.
vindicated to death.
World Eaters didn't turn out to be as big a problem as we thought they were going to be. They're kind of fine. They're a team's menace, but even then, what we were finding is like there's a bunch of other stuff that would love a date with World Eaters at the bottom of pairings right now. So I don't really know what they're doing. They're in a.
Do you remember LGT, guys? Do you remember LGT?
I remember it well.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. I think another example. I think this and the Raven Guard change are a good example of the massive lead time they have.
Yeah, I
on
agree.
These balance data states, which I think is a result of. I don't even think it's like policy or anything. I don't think it's that. I think it's just the fact that they have to translate it and do all the graphic design because they probably do it by hand and not by
And
AI.
there are interesting
they do-
questions. Sorry, yeah, interesting questions over whether the balance decisions and the Grotmus release decisions are in tandem or aware of each other as well. I think, and I'm not sure if they are.
Yeah, perhaps. So to summarise my detachments, if you're playing Tyranids, Crusher Stampede did really well at WCW. It's probably still going to do well now. Try Carnifexes and then go back to whatever you were doing before. GSC still good, and World Eaters just lose a unit. I quite like Goremongers at 75. I would be, I'm interested in trying multiple units of Goremongers just for a meme, but
Jail.
jail with
Not
T4
jail.
1 wound 5 of armor bodies.
Do it.
It's a body. If Creek can do it,
Body,
you
all it
can.
needs to be is a body, Davey.
Say again.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's fine. But it can stand in the way. I keep dropping bits of Wind Rider bike.
Fair. All right. Is there any other armies we want to touch on, guys? And of course, last chance for we are at an hour now. We didn't want to spend all evening on.
I mean, chat's been phenomenally generous, so thanks, chat. And yeah, if there
Yeah,
are any
chat's
last
been amazing.
questions or armies or things you want covered, do chuck them in. I'll just check that whether anything's coming in the Discord as well. As far as armies go, have we missed anything?
I think Admech's probably one we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
Admech. Admech basically had their wall of stuff trimmed down, didn't they?
Yeah.
But all the rules that have currently been good for them are intact.
I think there's one other question that we saw somewhere about sisters as well.
Yeah, so Sisters, I think Sisters get quite a nice light tap here. This is another army that has been repeatedly winning events over the last few months, and obviously one of those got literally put into the ground, and the rest have basically been given a smack on the bum and sent on their way.
Light
and-
tap. Really? It looks pretty heavy.
On Sisters?
Yeah, so we've got a 10 points on Canones.
Yeah.
10 points.
Okay, go on.
10 points on the 10 man models of Sacrosanct. So
Yeah.
the what do you call it? The Jack Harpster list will have gone up to 30 points just on that.
Yeah, so the Sacrosanct Tar Pit, which is fine. Yeah.
The minions 5 points or so. Hospitalia was in a few lists, 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Morgan Val up 15 points is pretty killer as well.
Exceptionally
And then
good.
the Retribute is our very own Jack Tight will be very sad.
No, he called that change. He said it was needed. So
Yeah, fair
he'll
play.
be fine.
Having had my poo pushed in by the Retributors recently. I'm very happy to see them change, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is one of those armies where, again, the actual damage and reach and punch of this thing is bonkers, and they are exceptionally strong in good hands. They have consistently won events, and I think they are underexplored. So I think seeing a unit out of those lists is fine. I mean, the killer thing with the point changes you outlined as well is that no one Sisters build leans on all that stuff at once.
Right.
Depending on how you're building it. Bringers does different stuff to champs, does different stuff to Hallowed Martyrs. So none of those builds is absolutely bodied as it would look like if you were trying to literally shove all those things in a list together at the same time. You're talking about like 60, 70 points, like one crash unit, which Sisters don't lack for anyway, to be honest.
Fair. Feels like feels like Sisters pretty good into those 3 armies we've called out as well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think it'd be interesting to see where they stand. They felt good, but not like insanely good. Just very strong, you know.
And then we're saying AdMech, we've just trimmed everything down. There's quite a few points increases on these, but
yeah,
they're
taking like 100+ point nerfs on their lists, which is not nothing at all. But ultimately, they still have literal oaths of moment tagged on to an existing army's rules, right? It's pretty good.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean they just had a lot of quality increase in the last patch, right?
Exactly.
So reducing their quantity a little bit is kind of needed.
I think that's exactly right. I think it's needed, and again, it probably takes them off the absolute tip top of the game. So AdMech players aren't going to be happy about that because people aren't happy about that in the same way that Eldar players won't be. But both those armies have more than enough guile and strength and output to continue to be very relevant in the wider game.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Cool. And just as we finish, we'll give a very quick summary to some of the questions we've had in. Black Templars still middle of the road. It feels like powerful combinations, but
did they take hits? I didn't see changes
Yeah.
to Templars.
Castellan and Empress Champion both went up 10 points, and a Rep X has gone up 15 points. So
So the sort of Gladius good stuff Templars list does take a hit.
Sad Repex noises, right?
Daka. That's the sad noise, right, that they make.
The very lovely Sam Dunn has said, "What about AP5 flawless blades?"
Oh yeah, we didn't even touch on EC. EC is interesting. They had the tap on the Winged Demon Princes, so they go to 15 more points each. They can just keep getting spinier. They had little drops on things like the Chaos Spawn, which I think is a sensational unit in Emperor's Shield, and I really love it. The Foot Demon Prince got a little drop. They've obviously got a new detachment to play with, which is like a push Fulgrim through walls mini-game detachment that looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
EC are a funny one where if you were to just go on like global data, they're not that good, but they just are exceptional at what they do. Again, just slightly streaky matrix like Votan. It's good at some things, it's bad at some other things.
Gatekeeper?
Keepers and Chilaxi going cheaper is interesting.
Oh no, I mean, is it a gatekeeper army?
No. It's more like more like once you've gone through the gate, an assassin jumps down and stabs you in the neck. So I'd say he's like a round 4/5 gatekeeper rather than just a basic.
I'm going to get my 4-1. Stab!
You bash your way through Death Guard, Knights, and some other dross, and you think you're making it, and then he just shivs you in the eye.
I think the main issue with Emperor's Children is that they're quite hard to play because their macro, like their overall macro strategy, is quite difficult.
Exactly that. Exactly.
So I think it trips a lot of people up.
They can be played badly so easily. After it's a bit like BA. After the first turn if the EC player's going to be capable of winning a game or not, and a lot of them aren't. And then they did get a tiny buff to the, I believe it's called Rapid Evisceration. It's their Rhinos and Land Raiders detachment.
Your Rhinos can reroll ones.
Yeah, their Rhinos, with the Noise Marines in their Rhinos firing out the firing deck, get little rerolls now, so you can expect to see people try that once and then go back to playing coteries.
And your Land Raider guns get rerolls.
Yeah. But Chilaxi and the Keeper of Secrets getting drops as well, very relevant.
Yeah, that's not nothing, right?
Carnival XS is one that people have explored in the past, and there is some play in it. Whether that works with the big demons, we will see. And I think one thing we didn't highlight, although we're a bit worried about chickens, demons did actually take some nerfs elsewhere. The Guo, the 4-up Feel No Pain Guo, his era is over.
God. I hate that guy.
He's 5-up Feel No Pain Guo now, which should be a real difference overall for him.
Yeah,
and I think
Mega Knobs can't have it. He's not allowed it.
Demons now, if we think about it, so every aspect of Demons has now been too good for at least a decent chunk of this edition, and they're finishing up with Zinch. what does that mean for demons? I'll let you deduce. You know, why would we possibly make every single aspect of the demons good for a good chunk of the edition? Why would we make all the old orc units good for a decent chunk of the edition? Well, I don't know. It's hard. It's honestly hard to
know, right?
deduce the machinations at play here. I think there's some sort of very clever, high-level game being played, but certainly demons have now just had every single bit of it be amazing for a bit, and maybe after this edition they'll go away indefinitely. We'll see. It's hard to know.
All right, very cool. Well, I think that's pretty much us for this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Again, just to reiterate what Tom said before, thank you so much for being so generous on the stream. All this is going towards our setup, so
Yes.
and we will be bringing you fantastic content. We've got loads of videos coming out next week. I think I've got a members video coming out this weekend, and we might even have a battle report coming soon as well. Bite-sized battle rep. We've had, I mean, the one that we did recently, which was Tyranids into Votan, was really popular. So me and Sam are going to try and get together and do another one locally. Any other videos that you got? I mean, obviously, hopefully, if Jack does well, he's going to do a battle report next week.
That's not what I meant. I meant if I just don't take pictures and stuff. Like,
Sure.
We'll have our doubles fight night next Thursday, which should be a lot of fun.
There's a Squire's Duty going live tomorrow, and we've got a Blood Angels detachment video going live tomorrow as well that Jack and Joe put together yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
And we have there's lots still that needs doing, but we'll get around to it as and when we get around to it. But so far, we've been covering all the detachments. We've got lots of live stuff coming out. Monday, Tuesday shows will go ahead as per. So just tons and tons of content. And again, you guys are all amazing. The chat support lately has been really like next level. So we are delighted, and hopefully see you around for that as well.
Absolutely. So I will take that cue to call her into the show. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you all in the next piece of content that you consume on 6++.
Nom nom nom.
Goodbye.